you know, what I wanted at 21, I don't want at 25.
Right.
I don't even know her anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know who she is.
22 and 49.
Diddy is 49 years old.
Oh, man.
That is a 27-year difference.
It's the scandal shaking Hollywood's brightest stars and most powerful families. Lori Harvey's explosive allegations against hip-hop mogul Diddy have sent shockwaves across the entertainment world, and the fallout is just beginning. Lori, the glamorous stepdaughter of comedian and television icon Steve Harvey, has shattered the silence surrounding her brief but deeply disturbing relationship with Diddy. Her claims paint a horrifying web of abuse, betrayal, and lies. But this isn't just about Diddy. This is a story that could unravel the carefully curated image of the entire Harvey dynasty. Hidden connections, secret pasts, and startling parallels are surfacing, hinting at a darker reality behind the glitz and glamour. Could these revelations take down not one, but two Hollywood powerhouses? Stay tuned as we delve into Lori Harvey's shocking accusations, Steve Harvey's murky history, and the sinister connections no one saw coming.
Well, the things that I experienced with him were monster-like. That stuff almost destroyed my life.
The courtroom was electric with tension as Lori Harvey took the stand, her voice steady but laced with emotion. All eyes were on her as she joined the growing list of women accusing Sean Diddy Combs of abuse. The allegations she laid bare were chilling. Lori described her whirlwind relationship with Diddy as nothing short of a nightmare, a twisted reality she barely managed to escape. Her testimony was graphic and damning, echoing many of the claims made by Cassie, the R&B singer whose own horrifying experiences with Diddy have been dominating headlines. Both women have spoken of being coerced into what Diddy allegedly called freak-offs, disturbing multi-day encounters orchestrated to satisfy his obsessions. Lori's words cut through the air like a knife. He made me feel like I was nothing more than an object in his world, something he could control, manipulate, and discard. The courtroom was packed, with reporters scribbling furiously and spectators hanging on every word. Lori's accusations cast an eerie parallel to Cassie's digging deeper into what prosecutors have described as Diddy's longtime modus operandi. The sheer weight of the claims, from manipulation to physical intimidation, painted a harrowing picture of what life was like under Diddy's control. It wasn't just the freak-offs, it was the systematic erosion of agency, the psychological toll of living in a world where power and fear ruled. Lori's testimony added a fresh, damning layer to the narrative, one that could bring Diddy's already crumbling empire to its knees.
How many people came through his orbit? How many people could this have happened to? And how did he get away with it for so long?
But the most shocking moment came when Lori revealed what she called the darkest aspect of her relationship with Diddy. She claimed she had been sold into his twisted world. The details were almost too horrific to comprehend. Lori described situations where she felt she had no choice, where she was coerced into compromising acts that left her feeling broken and powerless. Sources close to the case have hinted that Lori's allegations eerily mirror Cassie's claims of being trafficked, not in the traditional sense, but in a way that blurred the lines between coercion and captivity. Diddy's alleged ability to manipulate women into these situations was not just chilling. It was calculated. Lori's words painted a haunting picture of a man who used his immense wealth and influence to create a world where he was untouchable and everyone else was disposable.
They were referred to me as Wild King Nights. And what a Wild King Night was when him and a guest would go to a hotel room or be at his home, his bedroom, and they would have intimate gatherings. I would have to go and prep that hotel room, which consisted of baby oil Astroglide.
Their relationship had always been shrouded in mystery. Paparazzi captured glimpses of them together in the summer of 2019, matching outfits, tropical vacations, and even a family dinner in Italy with Steve and Marjorie Harvey. At the time, the media speculated endlessly about the nature of their connection. Was it love? Was it a fling? Was it something darker? Now, Lori's testimony has rewritten the narrative entirely. Things were never what they seemed. One insider whispered, hinting at the carefully curated public appearances that masked the chaos behind closed doors. By October of that year, the relationship seemed to fizzle out, with Lori unfollowing Diddy on social media, a modern-day signal that all was not well. What no one knew then was the depth of the trauma she had allegedly endured.
I thought he was this clean businessman who rise to the top because he was such a powerful and, smart, educated man. I had no idea that he had this other side to him. And when I started to get exposed to his lifestyle, I started to really realize, this guy has an addiction. It's not just, once every few weeks, it's every day, every hour.
Lori's explosive accusations come at a time when Diddy is already under siege. Cassie's ongoing testimony against him has been a gut-wrenching spectacle, exposing years of alleged abuse, manipulation, and coercion. The two women's stories are strikingly similar, painting a pattern of behavior that prosecutors argue is impossible to ignore. Cassie's heartbreaking testimony about the physical abuse and the infamous freak-offs has already shaken the courtroom, but Lori's allegations add new, damning weight to the case. Together, their accounts form a chilling mosaic of a man whose power and influence shielded him for decades. For years, Diddy's public image was that of a charismatic mogul, a man who could do no wrong. Now, that image is crumbling brick by brick.
I think it's more interesting that Steve Harvey's there.
The fallout for Diddy is grim. This is a man who once stood at the pinnacle of the entertainment industry, commanding respect and admiration from fans and peers alike. But as the lawsuits pile up and the testimonies grow more damning, it's becoming clear that his empire is on the verge of collapse. Lori's testimony could be the final nail in the coffin, tipping the scales against him in a trial that has already been described as one of the most shocking in recent history. With multiple accusers coming forward and a mountain of evidence building against him, Diddy faces not just the loss of his career, but the very real possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars.
Currently facing serious sex trafficking charges.
The question now is, how far will the ripples of this scandal spread? Lori's bravery in coming forward has opened the floodgates, shining a light not only on Diddy's alleged crimes, but also on the unspoken dynamics within the Harvey family. As Hollywood braces for the next wave of revelations, one thing is certain. This story is far from over. Stay tuned as we uncover the deeper connections, the family secrets, and the shocking truths that could change everything. As the storm surrounding Lori Harvey's allegations against Diddy intensifies, the spotlight is shifting to a family that has long presented itself as Hollywood royalty, the Harveys. For years, Steve Harvey, the charismatic TV host, best-selling author, and self-proclaimed relationship guru, has built a brand on the image of a perfect, blended family. But now, cracks are starting to show, and whispers of betrayal, scandal, and secrets are threatening to tarnish the glossy facade. Could Lori's revelations about Diddy be just the beginning of an unraveling dynasty? The Harvey family's carefully curated image might not withstand the weight of his accusations, and the skeletons in their own closet. Behind every family empire is a matriarch, and for the Harveys, that's Marjorie Harvey. Known for her impeccable fashion sense and a penchant for luxury, Marjorie has been Steve's rock since they married in 2007. But her past is now coming under scrutiny. Rumors have long swirled about her alleged ties to criminal circles before she met Steve. Whispers of connections to illicit activities have followed her for years, with some claiming Steve used his power and influence to shield her from legal consequences. Could it be that the Harvey family's pristine image has always been a smokescreen for something darker? Lori's decision to step forward against Diddy could inadvertently expose more than anyone anticipated.
I'm so protective of her because I know what she's up against.
The timing of Marjorie's entry into Steve's life has also raised eyebrows. By the time they married in 2007, Steve had just finalized his messy divorce from Mary Shackelford, a split that cost him millions and nearly left him broke. Marjorie, who had already built a reputation as a socialite, entered the picture at a critical moment, helping Steve rebrand himself as a family man and motivational figure. But what many forget is how quickly Steve's fortune rebounded after their union. Questions have been raised about whether Marjorie's connections, both in high society and, allegedly, in less savory circles, played a role in helping Steve rebuild his empire. While there's no hard evidence, the whispers have been persistent, especially among those who claim to have known the couple during their early days together.
Oh, God, let's hope so.
Adding another layer of intrigue is Marjorie's own family history. Her previous marriages were rumored to have ended under controversial circumstances, with some reports suggesting that both of her former husbands faced legal troubles tied to financial misconduct. While Marjorie has distanced herself from these claims, insiders note that her past relationships may have shaped her approach to building the life she shares with Steve. The Harvey family's lavish lifestyle, from sprawling mansions to designer wardrobes, has often been showcased as a testament to their success. But critics have begun to question whether their wealth truly comes from Steve's hard work alone, or if Marjorie's past connections have played a role in maintaining their seemingly endless fortune.
I can't really tell you what's wrong with kids, but I can tell you what the hell wrong with parents.
Lori's accusations also bring into focus the Harvey family's broader dynamics, especially the role of loyalty among Steve's children. Lori, as Marjorie's biological daughter and Steve's stepdaughter, has always been a prominent figure in their blended family. However, her outspoken nature and high-profile relationships have often set her apart from Steve's other children, some of whom prefer to stay out of the limelight. The strain between Lori and her step-siblings has reportedly grown over the years, with sources suggesting that her celebrity status has created friction within the family. Now, as Lori's revelations bring the Harvey name into disrepute, questions are swirling about whether this public scandal could deepen existing divides. Are we witnessing the first signs of a family unraveling under the weight of its own contradictions?
But you gotta understand, you gotta forgive your fathers, because they human too. They made mistakes.
The juxtaposition between Steve Harvey's public persona and the private allegations against him is startling. Known for dispensing relationship advice and motivational speeches, Steve has built a multi-million-dollar empire on his reputation as a family man. But let's not forget the messy divorces and lawsuits that have trailed behind him. His second wife, Mary Shackelford, accused him of emotional and financial betrayal, going as far as to claim soul assassination in a lawsuit. While a judge dismissed her claims, the details she revealed painted a troubling picture of Steve's personal life. Could this history of alleged infidelity and manipulation be connected to the current turmoil? Lori's bravery in exposing Diddy's alleged abuses may be shining a light on her own family's hidden struggles.
It's like haters. When you get haters, you know, people's opinion of you is none of your business. I have lots of haters.
Marjorie's own history is equally shrouded in controversy. Before marrying Steve, she was linked to figures who reportedly had ties to criminal enterprises, though Marjorie has always denied these rumors. They have remained a persistent cloud over her glamorous life. And now, with Lori's shocking allegations against Diddy casting a shadow over the entire family, one has to wonder, how much more can the Harveys keep hidden? Insiders have whispered for years about the strain Lori's tabloid-fueled relationships have placed on Marjorie and Steve's marriage. Could Lori's decision to speak out be driven in part by her own need to escape the weight of her family's secrets? Lori's courage in stepping forward has also reignited scrutiny of Steve Harvey's past legal troubles. His second divorce was a public spectacle, with Mary alleging that Steve's actions left her emotionally and financially devastated. She even served jail time for violating a gag order after speaking out about their tumultuous relationship. And while Steve emerged seemingly unscathed, questions remain about how he handled the fallout. Could Lori's revelations about Diddy serve as a catalyst for other buried truths about her stepfather? Steve's reputation as a pillar of strength and wisdom is now under the microscope, and the cracks in his armor are becoming harder to ignore.
So I just keep going through. But then I'll tell you something too. Haters motivate me. Because when they talking about me, that means I'm doing something.
Meanwhile, rumors about infidelity and betrayal within Steve and Marjorie's marriage have been swirling for months. Social media erupted recently with allegations that Marjorie had affairs with both the family's bodyguard and personal chef, claims that Steve vehemently denied. At a business event, Steve addressed the rumors directly, brushing them off as baseless gossip, but his tone betrayed a man under pressure. "I don't know what y'all are doing, but find something else to do," he told the crowd. But the question remains, why do these rumors keep resurfacing? Could there be more to this story than Steve is willing to admit? Adding fuel to the fire are the whispers about Lori's strained relationship with the Harvey family. While she has publicly maintained a close bond with her stepfather, insiders suggest that tensions have been brewing behind the scenes. Lori's high-profile romances, from rapper Future to actor Michael B. Jordan, have often dominated tabloid headlines, and her rumored relationship with Diddy in 2019 only added to the speculation. Photographed together on luxurious vacations and even sharing a table with Steve and Marjorie in Italy, Lori and Diddy's brief romance was the talk of Hollywood. But now, with Lori revealing the alleged dark side of that relationship, questions arise about how much the Harvey family knew and whether they turned a blind eye.
Acne and just like really bad, scarring, skin irritation. So as I got older, started educating myself about skincare.
Steve's history of public scandals doesn't stop with his marriages. His career has been marked by controversies, from accusations of plagiarism to the infamous Miss Universe mix-up in 2015. And while he has always managed to bounce back, the current wave of scrutiny may prove harder to overcome. Lori's allegations against Diddy have set off a domino effect, pulling the Harveys into a whirlwind of public suspicion. Could this be the beginning of the end for one of Hollywood's most celebrated families?
And you can't live your life based on what other people are gonna think, how other people are gonna feel, because at the end of the day, it's your life. Right. So it's gonna make you happy.
As for Lori, her decision to speak out against Diddy seems to mark a turning point not just for her, but for the entire Harvey dynasty. Lori has always been a figure of fascination, navigating the public eye with poise despite relentless scrutiny. But now, she is stepping into a new role, that of a survivor and a voice for other women who have faced similar abuses. Her bravery is inspiring, but it also comes at a cost. By exposing Diddy, Lori has opened the door to questions about her family's own complicity and the secrets they may have been keeping. The parallels between Lori's allegations and Cassie's testimony are impossible to ignore. Both women have described a world where power and control were wielded like weapons, trapping them in relationships that were as toxic as they were difficult to escape. But while Cassie's story has largely focused on Diddy, Lori's revelations have cast a wider net, implicating not just the hip-hop mogul, but also the family that stood by her side. Could the Harvey dynasty be the next empire to crumble under the weight of its own secrets?
I think that was it for me. I think because I was young, I was still trying to figure out who I was and what do I like. And
as we wrap up this shocking saga, we're left with more questions than answers. What other secrets could the Harvey family be hiding? Will Steve and Marjorie's carefully crafted image survive this new wave of scrutiny? And most importantly, will Lori's courage inspire other women to come forward, not just against Diddy, but against powerful figures who have operated unchecked for far too long? One thing is certain, the fallout from Lori's revelations is just beginning, and Hollywood is bracing for the aftershocks. What do you think? Could this be the start of a major reckoning for the Harveys, and will Diddy finally face the consequences of his alleged actions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explosive updates on this unfolding drama. The story is far from over. Stay tuned.